Commence primary ignition.
For Thursday, March 4th, 2021, it's the Serenno Squadcast, the official podcast of the Serenno Squad.
Grogu's got some sick moves.
Yeah, it's about like Yoda in what was that? The end of Attack of the Clones. Just flips. Welcome everyone to this week's episode of the Squadcast. This week we have a special guest with us, a fellow squad member, and also a ranking official, I would say. It is John Simpson. Welcome.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
John, what rank do you hold?
I don't know. What rank? But I don't really hold a rank anymore.
This is news to me.
So you okay? I ruined that. Nice setup. I thought you. So were you recently? You had a rank recently though?
Yeah, I used to be squad leader 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I took over for Doug when we formed the squad.
Okay, gotcha. I was way off.
I have no title now. I'm nothing now. So
Yeah, I think Wayne's the only one with a title at this point.
Yep.
How does that make you feel, Wayne? You all snooty.
I'm sorry, were you talking to me?
Okay, well, I guess that answers that question. Yeah, so John, it's awesome to have you here.
thank you.
First, we're gonna go over some Legion news.
Oh yeah, we're gonna bring him in.
Overkill and overdue.
That is the 501st Legion.
Legion news. All right. Well, there's still no troops yet. We're waiting for times to get better, but we do still have people making their costumes and getting approvals for their costumes. So we got to check those out. So without further ado, oh, I got this thing hanging in there. First, we have TI 18414 for the approval of her New Hope TIE pilot. Looks awesome.
Yes, it looks really good.
Yeah. Well, I saw this picture online when it got shared, and I was like, when did Heather get a TIE pilot? I swear that the bucket off photo looks like Heather.
The resemblance is
look like
uncanny.
Yeah, it
It's
looks like
Heather
Evan's
and
wife.
Adrian is one person.
Well, I'm sure this is an actual person. It's not a combination of two people.
No,
And they did a great job.
yeah, they did a really good job.
Looks awesome. And
What a
these
great Vader.
now, yeah, a great one. Now I can't help but notice the two stripes, the tier stripes going down now.
Yeah.
You'll never unsee them.
I know.
She's got the center part of the mohawk, the stripes, and the vocoder and the frown painted.
That's the only way to have a tie helmet.
All the way.
Nah.
Oh, thanks. Jeff.
Yep.
None more black. You
Nope.
just got to do flat black all the way across, no paint.
No, you got to have the teardrops. That's what makes that costume look good. It makes that helmet pop.
No. I
I
think
like it.
doing the tubes and the cheeks make my helmet pop. And of course, doing the mohawk in silver really helped too.
Yeah, it does look good.
I still want to put the number decal on the top of mine. I keep forgetting about that.
Talk to Frankie. He made mine.
Yeah.
Actually, no, wait. Maybe he didn't. No, I take that back. Nicole made mine. I can get her to make you one if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do those numbers do they reference like your actual TI numbers?
Yeah, well, it can say whatever you want it to say. Most people do the TI number. It just
Yeah.
has to be in Arabic.
Gotcha.
There's 3 different fonts you can use. And yeah, it doesn't have to be anything, but it has to just be a certain font and fit in a certain size.
One of those fonts, though, is so 1970s, big bubble letters.
It looks terrible.
Oh, God.
I don't like that version at all. The font that she's got on hers is the one that I like.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I like it all.
Everybody needs to build a TIE pilot because they're super comfy.
Yeah. Well, I think I took a step towards maybe one day buying a whole tie kit because I placed an order. Yesterday was my birthday, and I placed an order for a gunner helmet. I couldn't resist, guys. So
I hope it's fully built and not a kit.
it is.
Yeah.
It's fully built. It's
You don't
coming
need
from
the buttons
Intergalactic
anymore.
Surplus. So it's the same guy that will at some point he does the deal with the TIE pilot whole entire kit, and he throws in the gunner helmet for free. I mean,
Yeah.
what
Intergalactic
that's a-
supply.
That's a real shame that you're not buying the kit because that's what Wayne's favorite kit is, the helmet.
right.
I was thinking back.
PTSD. Don't do that to him. We need Wayne around. He's the only one that holds a title. Don't. We need him.
That helmet.
What
that
did one
helmet
poor
carries
person
a
say to the
curse.
other? Who cares?
Political assassination on Wayne.
What was that, Paul?
That helmet carries a curse.
Oh, right. Well, that's why I learned from y'all's mistakes, and I went ahead and placed an order for the complete one without lights. I am so stinking excited. So that's what I have to look forward to. But maybe in the future, I might invest in one of these. And we can all be pilots together.
Yes,
Yay.
because we need more Darth Vaders.
Yes.
I like the just the reserve pilot. I think it is the best kind of dressed down costume that we've got. It lets you double dip as both a costume character, and it's great for handling. You know, you can still get the enjoyment of being in a costume, but you can still work with, you know, your armored your armored characters that are there with you, because it goes a long way to have handlers. But that flight suit is probably the most comfortable costume I think I own.
Oh yeah.
The one thing I've noticed I really like about the TIE pilot, and it's going to suck when I go back into the hard armor costumes, I can't do it, is a lot of the little kids will freak out until you can kneel down and be on their level.
Yes, absolutely.
That's pretty cool. I didn't think about that.
And that helmet makes it hard, you know, the way it's slanted with that chest, it makes it hard to look down. So, you know, having something that you can kneel easily and get down on their level, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Someone really thought that one through.
Yeah.
Still need new hoses for mine. I can't find good hoses.
I can show you the ones I got.
Yeah,
Those were what I got, but what came was not
Yeah,
what I.
what you
I
got was
getting.
much stiffer than what I had.
Yeah, I know. I'll find a use for them for something, but not for TIE pilot.
Yeah. Well,
Anyways,
the TIE pilot looks stinking amazing. So let's move on to the next approval, which actually is not what we're used to here. But what we have is SL72147 for the approval of his Revenge of the Sith, Darth Vader pre-armor.
yes.
So
it looks like he's even got the scar there. That looks really good.
I think you have to have the scar.
Do you?
Yep.
is the ring a part of it too?
Well, he is married.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's
Is
an
that the
actual
approval
like
kit?
serious question. I don't know if it is or not.
No, you're not. I mean, last time I was approved, I was reminded to resubmit with my wedding band off when I did the pre-scarring Darth Sidious. I my first set of approval pictures I took had my wedding band on, and I got a very polite message from someone that I needed to remove and retake and resubmit.
Yeah.
Annul that marriage. No, don't do
Because
that.
Palpatine doesn't love anyone. He never gets married.
He just has a one night stand for Ray's dad or whatever.
Where are you going? Going to a con. See you on Monday. Baby. I'm going out for cigarettes and lottery tickets.
I've always
do.
loved that glove.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I really like the glove.
Wait, is that the approval pick? Can you do the saber in the approval pick?
That's his.
Yeah,
That's
it's
his
the action shot.
photo. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you can. The saber is the only part of the photo that can be like photoshopped. You can have an effect on the saber, but that's it.
Well,
No
that's
other
awesome.
part of the photo can be photoshopped.
When I submitted my Jedi for Rebel Legion for Saber Guild, that blade is so light I did not, or it's so bright I didn't have to do any sort of Photoshop.
Yeah, mine when I ever get it finished, I've got the day blade for it, so it'll show up no matter what.
Where are you ordering your lightsabers from?
Mine
I got
is
mine from Electrum Saber Crafts, so it's not a Canon saber; it's a custom saber.
There's she doesn't watch podcasts or listen anyway, but that's a wedding gift for Heather. Is going to be Leia's lightsaber from episode 9. I want to find it. I want to find a good vendor because I want to put some money into it. So
that's a tough one to find. Well, it was like maybe a year ago or so. I know COVID really hit the because a lot of them are being machined out of like really nice metal, and the supply chain for those just fell apart. So a lot of people were waiting on their Leia sabers, but that's hopefully it's all changed now.
I'm hoping to find it next month because our anniversary is in May. So I figure if I can find it maybe next month, that'll give it a month to arrive. But so help me look, if you guys are on the lookout, help me find one that would be like, the one, because I want to do something big for her. Because when she realized that Leia had a like Canon lightsaber, she was like, she lost her mind. She thought that was the coolest thing ever. So I'm like, okay.
I have a friend who's really big in the Rebel Legion, and she has every single Leia costume, single Leia costume. And I know she was really excited when she got her Leia saber. So I'll hit her up, see what she thinks about where to get one.
Heather, go ahead.
Who is it?
I can't remember her name.
I have a friend. I don't know her name though.
Well, I met her
lives in
at
Canada.
the premiere, so we're just brief acquaintances.
Is it Juliana?
No.
Okay.
Disney sells one in the parks. They sell one.
I have a friend that works in the park, John.
Well, I don't know which one is the best way to go. I want one with a detachable blade, so I can, so I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I haven't really started looking yet. I was kind of waiting. This month was for financials is the month I start looking for stuff. So I wanted to figure. I want to get it. I want it detachable, so at least I can, she can have just the hilt, or because she's really been hinting that she wants to do that flashback Leia.
Cool. I was hoping you were going to say that.
Yeah, she saw that. She goes, I really want to do that since there's been, Rebel Legion costuming discussions.
My Kylo saber is from the parks. I bought it from someone who like goes there and like buys a bunch of them and then like resells them. And it had detachable blades. I don't know about Leia's, but I think it was a really good solid piece. The only thing that really sucks about the sabers is the sound isn't that great and the effects aren't super great. So it's a good I guess sort of like static piece if you don't really care about all the effects and all that stuff. And it's really cheap too compared to like really nice sabers, and it's metal.
The one that's in the parks, I think it's just a hilt. I think it's just a metal hilt. I don't think it has a blade.
I think that would be like I don't think that would be a big deal. Like I haven't, to be honest, it's kind of been one of the two costuming things I've had rolling around in my head. This one and the clone project. So it's kind of been, I haven't fleshed out my ideas for what I want to do with it yet.
You went on to both.
Yeah, well, it's going to be both. It's just that clone. I mean, like I said, Palpatine's going away.
What paint job are you going with, John?
As I told you, all you got to do is search the cover photo from Battlefront 2 from the old PlayStation. I'm going to mirror it.
I have that poster on my wall.
Yeah, that's it. That's the paint scheme. Since the day I joined the 501st, I said I want this. It's the 501st clone. Why would you not want it? If you're going to do a clone, why would you do any other paint job?
Or you could be Captain Rex, the captain of the 501st.
I'm glad you're doing it because I would be tempted to do it, but I want to do this clone, and then as soon as I get the next set of funds, I want to buy another helmet because I want to do the Ahsoka paint scheme on the helmet. Because
Absolutely what I want to do.
I cried like a
only I
baby
knew
that
somebody
whole
with
scene.
a 3D printer and those files, man, I would definitely build that helmet because it's not one I would wear all the time, but I would like to wear it from time to time.
I have a 3D printer, but as you can see, I'm still learning. We're not ready to print helmets yet.
There's a small puppy inside Paul's 3D printer that chews up all his prints.
See, what it is I actually keep the 3D printer inside the fireplace. All the prints come out on fire.
Yeah. No, you're gonna get it, man.
Yeah, I'll get it. I just got to play with it some more.
That's
And
right.
then I can lean on the both of you because that's another project. I want a 3D printer, mostly for D&D stuff, but it prints Star Wars just as good.
Ooh, D&D. So you're talking about like figures and stuff?
Yep.
You might be interested in a resin printer.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
the
Talk to
direction.
Chris. He can
Yeah.
tell you all about it.
Anyway, he printed some D&D minis for our last game we played, and after I saw the detail and how good they looked, I'm like, and you're paying. Yeah, look at that. I even painted it. Look at that. Come on.
Put your hand behind it.
Not like
Do
you
like,
can,
put your
not
hand
like you
behind
can
it.
see it very well.
It's kind of blurry.
Will it auto zoom?
Nope.
Back up a little bit. Back up. Put your hand up and cover up the screen. I see them do this on the YouTubes, and usually it works.
All right, I'm done. I'm done.
I promise it looks good.
It's a trick. It's not
Yeah.
real.
I
but
just need
yeah.
blue eyes, and I'll be damned if I'm going to doubt them.
But no, I after I saw those, from the start to finish and what they look like completely raw out of the printer, and I was like, and you've got how much invested in printing out one of these, and it's not even pennies, and I was just like, that's it, that's done. I'm printing. I want to get back into playing D&D in person, and I want minis, and it's just gonna be a printer.
Yeah, man. I was telling the guys one of these days it's gonna be like 20 years ago or whatever, or before that, maybe even 30 years ago, when they said there's gonna be computers in every house, and people like, yeah, right. There's gonna be 3D printers in every house, and
Oh yeah,
won't be long.
I think my favorite part about them is when you get 3D printers and then it comes with specs to 3D print more parts to go with the 3D printer.
Yeah.
That's it's such a weird
Upgrade.
concept. Yeah, when you think about you can just
making robots. Oh.
Yeah, it's such a weird concept. It's like, you got to set up the 3D printer so you can 3D print the parts to finish setting it up, and you're just like, that's such a weird concept.
I've seen that episode of Stargate SG-1, and it doesn't turn out well. Let me tell you.
Machines making machines. How perverse.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
All right, what else we got?
We're gonna move on to our next.
Wait, it's only two?
No. Yeah. Well, yeah. Actually, there are just 2 approvals.
Okay.
But we're now gonna move on to the CRL, the new CRL. So let me share.
One
that.
we've all been waiting for.
Bum, ba-da-da-ba-bum. Attention all troopers. A new to the Legion costume has been added to the 501st Legion database. From the 501st Special Operations Detachment comes the long-anticipated Sith Trooper.
Ribbed for your pleasure.
You know,
Sith
and you have to wear essentially it's like a ribbed undersuit that's like I think it's similar to the one the First Order has, but it's like this black latex suit that has gaskets in between, like in your elbows and knees and like everywhere.
Dude,
Yeah,
that
that's what the
sounds
First
like a
Order
nightmare.
has to wear.
What is up with the gray?
That's a reflection. I think they took the pictures outside, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of that vest look. Here comes old Cowboy Trooper.
Yeah, that's right. He should have a bolo tie or something. But
Trooper, get him. Yeah.
got my laser lasso. It might work.
I do like the helmet. Kind of echoes a clone with the T shape.
Yeah. The neck seal is interesting. It looks like, if I remember correctly, the neck seal looks just like a Republic Commando neck seal that has like the pattern around the neck. It's pretty interesting.
Such a cool costume. I what I love the most about this costume is that it really does like pull inspiration from the original trilogy Stormtroopers, and it pulls from the clones, and you can see like they really, I mean, now granted they're paid to do this, but I mean you can really tell that they took the time to like get both, the inspiration and that feel from both of them.
Man, in the red.
And then it's in red, which makes it, red goes faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't survive any longer though.
I don't have to.
They need to have flames coming up the arms or something. I don't know.
It's level 2.
So what's going on with the shoulder bells? The one on the right is
Got
normal.
some extra little
or, no.
fancy bits on it or something.
Yeah.
Some greeblies.
Kind of echoes like Commander Cody style greeblies.
Yeah, little ammo pouches or reloads or something.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I guess that's his right arm, has got some extra bits on the forearm as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
I really like the gun. The Sith Trooper gun is so cool. It's like a submachine gun or a shotgun or something.
Yeah, it's
A
all black
submachine
and
gun
red.
or a shotgun.
I want to get my hands on this costume and just, to see how it puts together, because it doesn't look like, it reminds me a lot of the way the clone or the the way
You're
all that.
right. Yeah, the chest piece over top of the ab piece for sure.
Yeah, it looks. What?
Not to toot my own horn, but I saw a whole bunch of these in person at one point.
Ooh.
Where did you see him?
At the
Where did you see him?
blue carpet premiere of The Rise of Skywalker in Hollywood,
Hey, Evan,
California.
if you look right, you want to kind of
90210.
you want to get that off your shoulder.
Yeah,
Just
sorry.
make sure you get that off there.
Yeah.
Hey, it doesn't look like he has the because the First Order's got the yoke that comes around. Can't tell if he has that or not.
It's almost like a reverse yoke. Like the yoke goes over the top of the chest instead of underneath.
I wonder if the vest is actually a yoke piece that comes all the way down, and there's a separate piece that goes underneath it.
I think it is. It's like a little like insert or something.
I wonder if I could set a button up on a glove so he could say, "There's a snake in my boot."
You just can't get over that chest piece, can you?
I can't. That's all I can see is you're the man who shot my pole.
If it were a different color, I could say that. But since it's all red, it's kind of all just a big
And
blob.
in keeping with Star Wars, any character that's red gets exponentially less screen time.
Isn't that the truth?
Huh.
Whatever do you mean? What with the Royal Guards and the
Darth
what are we
Maul.
what are we calling the Red Guards from the end of episode 9?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know if they weren't even on screen long enough to have names.
Well, then you had the lobster guards from episode 8.
Yeah, the Zoidbergs.
Man, that's such a cool costume. I would love to. I wouldn't want to mess with it. I'm not sure I would want to wear it, but I just thought that was they were so cool when we saw them.
Because you think of all the summertime troops and how hot it gets in those places, and everybody coming over to you to put their face up in your face because you look like an air conditioning vent.
Only you see that. I don't understand. I would never think that.
No, I've heard the segments on the arms that they all, when you move, basically you have to like paint it after every troop because it scratches itself.
Yep. Unless you had some sort of like really, really high resistance paint, which I mean it would cost a fortune to do it. You'd have to make it out of metal and then powder coat it.
Yeah.
You could probably get away with an automotive clear coat, but you would have to pay a chunk of money to get really good clear coat to keep that from happening.
Yep.
Or take the Wayne idea and get it in clear and then paint the underside.
That's the way to do it.
I
I still want to do that.
Well, I talked to Albert that Albert went ahead and ordered his Shadow Trooper, and we looked at pricing out the clear armor from Walt just to see, and it was going to be like an extra $100 and some if he went that route. So he decided not to.
Well,
Yeah, it's basically it would have put it in the neighborhood of like $650 to $700 if you went with the clear plastic over the white or the black plastic. So I mean, it's within the realm of possibility, but it was like he's like, well, I'd do it, but has anybody ever done it before? And I'm like, no, it's a crazy old man Wayne idea. We don't even know if it's what it's going to look like. And he's like, well, if it wasn't my first costume, we'd do it. And I'm like, okay, well, he gets if I decide to do another one, that's what we'll do. We'll do it right.
If Walt does a clear helmet run, we should definitely like all pitch in and get one so we can have Wayne try this idea out.
I'm curious to see it tried, but I don't think it's going to work.
I don't think so.
I promise you it's going to work.
But you're going to be able to see the thickness of the plastic. Like it's not going to be you're not going to have like a surface. It's going to be like you're going to be able to see through it a little bit, and then you're going to get to the paint.
Yeah.
And you'll see all the construction bits.
I'm with Wayne. I think it'll.
You won't see the construction bits because it'll be painted.
Yeah.
It's like those ornaments where you pour the paint inside and roll it around.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about, Wayne.
I think honestly, I would think it's going to work. The only thing that I want to see quality-wise is the type of glossy finish that you would get by painting it and then showing it through the plastic. So I don't know if you can get it. I don't know how that clear is going to affect, even if you go high gloss in your black. I don't know how that's going to affect
I have a way around that too. So
yeah.
He's got an answer for everything.
Yeah, I'm on board. I'm totally
I've been
behind
thinking
it.
about this for a long time.
Since you brought this project up, I cannot be more behind it, and I want to be a part of it every step of the way because I think it. I mean, it could change all 7 people that wear Shadow Troopers. It's going to change their life forever.
It's a lot of lives. All right. Well, that Sith Trooper was phenomenal.
Yes.
We're going to move on to our next segment. I am going to announce some channel updates. So we got a few new videos and episodes. We had an interview with Aaron Hughes from Galactic Armory, and that was a pretty interesting interview. He's an awesome guy. I don't know if you had a chance to check that stuff out, but
I did actually watch that one.
that was
I didn't out of spite.
it was fun. Yeah, I was gonna surprise you guys, and then once I realized, I was like, oh man, they probably wanted to be in on that. But,
So then he kept it a secret.
yeah, I kept it a secret. We've been talking since I think the last time we talked was in August.
Is your helmet from him?
Yep. He actually printed this helmet, and I ordered it. He printed it and sent it to me, and I was planning on buying the armor from I believe it was going to be Imperial Surplus. Is that or
yeah,
something like that?
Yeah.
There's so many of these. I get the names mixed up, but I think it's Kevin Weir.
Yes.
Yes.
It's Imperial Surplus.
Yes. Okay. So I was going to get the kit from him, but then once I started finishing this, he posted a video of him starting to print his own armor, and I was like, oh man, I got to do that. So that's when I bought my printer, and then I printed all my armor. So but his started it all. But he also sells the files for those, and I have printed one of those. We printed one for Wayne, but it ended up being a little bulky on the inside.
Well, if Wayne had a child, that's what we printed.
Yeah, John, maybe your head can fit in it if it's any smaller than Wayne's.
Well, I mean, I think his ego's a little bit bigger than mine. So maybe.
Whoa.
There's a little bit of
It's because I
swelling.
hold a position.
Yeah, a little bit of swelling there.
Oh, I remember what the other thing I needed 3D printed now was.
What was
What's
it?
that?
The trigger.
Oh, yep, you're absolutely right. But we got to do some editing to that. We got to work on it. We can't just print it again, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's for another time. But yeah, that interview with Aaron was awesome, and also I think we are looking into doing a new segment where we're going to try to reach out to other squad mates and kind of get to know everybody. So, if you've only been in one region to do troops in the past, and you haven't really gotten to meet some of the other guys across the pond or whatever. It's not really across the pond, across the
across the
the mountain,
460.
across 460, yeah,
Across the holler.
the holler, yeah. So, try to get everybody to get to know one another. So, looking forward to that. So that's about it for our channel updates. And now moving on to our next segment. If I can cue the. Oh wait, we lost Wayne.
Oh,
Wait,
Rip.
where are you?
Not blowing my nose on the podcast.
Gotcha. All right, I'm gonna try this again. Top story.
Excuse me, that's the wrong franchise.
I think I don't care.
Wow, we all really were dancing there. So top story is our guest, John Simpson. The story of John Simpson. In a
It's a
world.
short story.
Yeah. Well, John, we've trooped a couple times.
I think so. It's
I'm
been a minute.
newer, so I haven't got to spend as much time with you as the rest of the guys. But I wanted to ask you myself though, when did you actually consider joining the 501st and getting a part of it?
I considered joining the 501st the moment I learned it existed, and that was
2010.
That was 2009. Excuse me. It was 2010 last week.
Wow.
Yeah. It was ShivaCon of 2010. I met my wife the year prior, and she informed me. She goes, we were doing the whole getting to know each other, dating stuff, and she's like, I don't know if you're a big nerd, but I'm a really big nerd, and I do science fiction conventions, and I work one of the events in Roanoke, and I was
John
like,
was like, check please.
yeah, well, no, yeah, well, what? I was just like, there's science fiction conventions in Roanoke. Like, I didn't know this was a thing, And she was, oh yeah, if you want to come, you're welcome to come. And I'm like, yeah, sure, love to. So, that convention was my first ever convention, and it's still like one of the coolest experiences was walking down into the fan group area, and there was this huge, like 6 tables, big projector screen, and all of these costume dummies, and then actual mannequins, they were wearing them too, and all these costumes and stuff. And I was just like, what is this? And that's when I learned about the 501st, and I was like, well, that's it. This is a dream. This is a goal. That's where I met Paul, and then a little bit later I met Wayne, and they were honestly, those are the two that were my absolute inspiration, and they kicked my ass to make sure I joined. I would not be where I'm at in the Legion without the two of them, so I always appreciate them for that. But it was then. It was ShivaCon of 2010 was was when I realized that this thing existed, and I was like, well, I have to do this.
Yeah, and ShivaCon's not even around anymore, right?
No, we don't. We don't talk much about that. Yeah.
You just remember the good times.
Yeah, we don't remember the huge financial debt.
It's been dead for about 8 years now.
Right. Well, from that blossomed whatever love you have for cosplaying and all that. That's great.
Yeah.
Paul and Wayne, I met them for the first time. I live 2 blocks from the comic book store, and on I think Comic Book Day a couple years ago, they were out there in their tie pilot suits, and I was like, what? I drove by, and then I got to the house, and I said, Hannah, I gotta walk to the gotta walk to the comic book store and see what's going on. And
It's addictive, man. Once you
Yeah.
realize that, this area doesn't really have, it's not a, where it's not as populated. You don't have a big, population of nerds and whatnot. So once you find a little pocket of nerd, it's very concentrated and we're really nerdy.
oh yeah.
And then
That's
you
why we're
realize
so
everybody
close,
knows
too.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, there's not many of us that do this out here on this side of the state. And, that it's a big bonding thing for us.
We're all a big family.
Absolutely.
It's so much fun too. Like, even though we haven't been able to do anything all year, it's been really fun to stay in touch over the Squadcast, and so we're hoping to maybe get more people involved in that, so that we can really get the whole squad and everybody in here. So, but yeah, man, what was your first costume that you were approved for?
My first approved costume was a reserve pilot.
Classic.
Yeah, I mean, it was the ground floor, super, I won't say super cheap, but I mean, it's the budget entry into the 501st.
And it's the gateway, because you got
Yeah.
multiple costumes you can go with.
Yeah, it really is.
You had ordered your helmet and everything. You just hadn't gotten it yet.
Yes. Yeah, I ordered everything at the same time, and I ordered from Sand Props. He was in Austria. And when I started pricing stuff out, everything was about the same in price, and I was looking at turnaround time. And at the time, he had the quickest, well, what I believed was the quickest turnaround time. So I ordered from him, and he ended up having a bunch of issues with getting his stuff done. Something happened, and his vacuum former caught fire, and he burned down his shed. And I got approved in my reserve pilot in October of 2015, and it wasn't until March or April of 2016 did I get my
helmet I've ever seen.
The biggest helmet that anybody's ever seen. And you know what? It's he built everything, and that was the other reason why I had him do it. Is at the time I didn't know Wayne was building stuff as much. I don't think you really were building a lot of stuff back then. And
no, I was at that point. I had only built the clone and the TIE pilot.
Yeah, and so I was like, I don't really know anybody that's building it, and this is something that's kind of daunting. Even though looking back at it now, it's like it was just a tie; it wasn't that big a deal. But at the time, it's like this is a really daunting, because you have to be screen accurate and follow all these rules. And for like an extra, it's like $80. The guy's like, "Well, I'll build it for you," and I'm like, "Well, shit, if it takes me 8 hours and it's basing it on $10 an hour to get it done, I mean, it's going to take me more than 8 hours to build it." So I mean, it was like, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, just pay the guy.
I was like, I'll just pay the guy, no big deal. And it is the largest. I think it's the largest approvable helmet I think I've ever seen anybody wear. But he went above and beyond on the inside. It's got
oh yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, it's got styrofoam motorcycle padding that he's wrapped in some type of like really nice cloth, and it's moisture wicking. And dude, I mean, it's super, super comfortable, and it's big enough that air moves. I could wear, now that I have to wear glasses, I could probably wear my glasses underneath it and not have an issue. So, I mean, I love that helmet.
I could with mine, so I don't see why you couldn't with yours.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can fit you and me both in that helmet. So, I mean, it's
like,
great.
You said it gets wind, and all I'm thinking is Nicolas Cage from Con Air.
It's really it. So yeah, that was my first approved costume, was the TIE pilot.
Heck yeah. Now, you've said you were squad leader 2 years ago.
Yes.
So what was that like? What was that experience like?
It wasn't that. I mean, it was. I started out before we formed the squad. I was the region's event coordinator, so it really wasn't that big of a difference. It's that's all a squad leader really is. It's just a glorified event planner. But when we formed the squad, we had Danko take over, and Danko ran it for about 6 months, and life got in his way. So we had an emergency election, and it was like, well, I'm already doing the work. If nobody else wants it, I mean, I'm already doing the work. And I mean, I really enjoyed it. I liked I liked being the communication tool. You know, I liked being the person to be that face of the squad to the public, and I liked it. I mean, it wasn't a hard job. I've said this, you know, many times to many different people. This group of individuals that we have down here is the best group of people anywhere that anyone can ask for. You know, we had no issues, we had no problems, and everybody got along. Everybody loved each other, and made my job really easy. Yeah, so I did it for. I finished up the first year. You know, I took over in I guess it was April or May after the election. I took over, and then I wanted to actually run for re-election in the second one and get to a full year of doing it. So I was squad leader for a year and 20 months or something, or 8 months or something like that.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Well, you guys help me out. I can't be the only one asking John questions here. You guys.
Well, we know John. We know all about him. So.
Well, great,
Yeah, I've been to his
perfect.
house.
Yeah, I haven't been to your
His
house.
daughter and I are mentally locked and we're best friends.
Yeah, my daughter and Wayne are probably better friends than my daughter and me. So.
I think that's always going to be the relationship between a daughter and a father. So
yeah,
I
go ahead.
got a question for John.
Yeah.
What's your dream costume?
Well, I have two. I have a reasonable dream costume, and I have an unreasonable dream costume.
Yeah, it's good to have two.
What's the unreasonable?
It is at first my first unreasonable dream costume was the Galactic Marine, and that was the first costume I priced out when I was looking to join. It was if I'm going to join, I'm going to get what I want, and I really wanted the Galactic Marine. And at the time, the armor kits were really hard to find, and all of the parts and materials, and I sat down and priced it, and I was like, I'm going to have somewhere between $2,500 and $3,000 in this costume. I can't justify that. So now I've looked at the kits here fairly recently, and I could probably do one for about $1,500. Because there's only one guy that's vacuum forming the parts that I know of, but there's people now 3D printing the parts and whatnot, so the costs are coming way down.
Yep, I've seen the helmet, I've seen the armor.
So
how different is it from the Snow Trooper helmet?
It's as different as a clone to a stormtrooper.
Really?
It's more different than you think, than you realize. But so I set that one. That one has now become a somewhat reasonable dream costume. Right. My completely unreasonable dream costume that I will never do for a whole laundry list of reasons. I would die to do a Wookiee.
Oh,
I want to do a Wookiee so bad, but given the fact that I am 5'6", the amount of stilts that I would have to stand on to be able to get to the height restriction, I'm positive I'll get a nosebleed. I know it'll happen.
Could you just be 3 kids in a trench coat? Just get on someone's shoulders.
I've thought about it. It's just the Wookiee costume is just so cool. There's costumes that you run into whether you own one or you know somebody that has them. I call them showstoppers. Mm-hmm. You can have a Darth Vader. You can have an R2D2 droid. You can have escorted in by 17 stormtroopers and 2 royal guards and a Palpatine, and everybody thinks that's really cool.
Right up until Chewie shows up.
Wait,
Yep,
I'm not hearing John.
Yeah, John, I think your audio dropped.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You got me now? Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
What happened? When you said the
17 stormtroopers and Palpatine.
I don't know what happened. Sorry about that. You could have Darth Vader, Palpatine, 17 stormtroopers, royal guards. You could have the entire 501st walk into a room. None of that matters as soon as Chewie walks in.
Yeah.
True.
That's the showstopper costume that is just completely unreasonable. I'm not tall enough. There's stilts. There's buckets. There's I couldn't imagine, we know, James is what he went through building his and hand stitching all of the hair extensions. And it's just completely out of. There's no way.
I mean, not only that, but it's also the cost. It's like $10,000 to build one.
Oh, it's just,
and that's
insane.
if you make it yourself.
Yeah. There's just it's completely unreasonable. My reasonable real dream costume is the 501st clone.
And
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
that's
make that happen.
yeah, that's going to happen this year in the next couple of months.
Nice.
I've been working on losing some weight. I'm getting down to a more reasonable, more reasonable size to do this costume. And I settled on doing the TIE pilot going into this because the TIE Fighter video game, the old PC game, is what made me a Star Wars fan. That video game just set the standard for, Star Wars for me. And then when Battlefront 2 came out for the PlayStation, that game, I lost years of my life to that game.
Me and my brother did too. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
in our basement.
That everything, all of my real love for Star Wars is centered around the video games. Like the movies, yes, the books, love the books and all that, but it's the video games that kind of brought you and put you in the role of whatever character that is what made Star Wars fun for me. So I got to do the Battlefront 2 clone. I got to. And then my goal once it's done is to do a green screen and have someone Photoshop me into the game poster. So it's like me in the game poster from
It's going to happen. The green screen these days, man. Just send us the picture.
I said, photoshopping's not my thing.
Just send me the picture, man. I got you.
I love it.
But yeah, that's such a good one to go with, and that's not terribly unreasonable at all. We're getting more clones.
We need more clones. You can't have enough clones.
You can't have enough clones. Yeah. Absolutely.
I forgot something.
What's that?
I clear coated this today, so it is now done.
Oh,
ooh, and see, that's something else that we need to hurry up and get past COVID and get all our crap together. And we've played. We haven't played X-Wing together in what feels like a decade.
Far too long.
Yeah. And I haven't just beat the brakes off of Wayne in so long. It needs to it needs to happen. I miss it.
Yeah, there's a whole brand new fleet you haven't even seen waiting to kick your ass. So
you know what? They'll get taken off the board just as quickly as your old stuff. It ain't no big deal.
It's a shitty dice.
I mean, that's what's killed me. I mean, it's driven me crazy this last probably 6 months. It's just like, the isolation. Even with my job, I get out, I'm in it every single day. My average day today was no different than my average day 2 years ago. The only difference is I wear a mask now. That's really it.
yeah.
But going and seeing people and visiting people, doing our trooping with the squadron, or like I said, the three of us spend a lot of time together, either gaming together in person or not. So, man, this virus sucks.
Yeah,
we're on the home stretch though.
Yeah,
I'm going to go ahead and turn this into a Christmas.
Hopefully, we won't have another one for another 100 years.
God, I hope not.
I mean, 3 people on this Zoom call right now have had at least one shot of their vaccine. So,
dude, I'm supposed to. I still can't get one.
Twist arms. What do you mean? You work from home though, don't you?
No, I work at a dental office.
Oh, then go twist arms, man.
Yeah. Well, I called the health department, but they're like, "Sorry, we're busy."
You have to call them like every single day.
That's been my advice, because I was able to get my first shot almost 6 weeks ago, and that's what it took. Is that you just had to call, and I drove from pharmacy to pharmacy trying to find somebody that was offering it, and
nice.
With what I do with fire protection, I'm just as in it as most people that are out in it. So it's like, you're gonna give me my shot.
Be taken care of for sure.
Yeah. So it was just that's the only thing I can tell anybody watching, listening. If you are eligible for this shot, you've got to be annoying. Don't go Karen, but you have to at least you have to at least be annoying. You have to annoy them to the point where they just, to shut you up, they stick your arm.
Right. Yeah, I'm all for it. Stick me.
Yeah.
John.
Yes, sir.
Just for the record, what are all the costumes you do have?
That's what I was gonna ask.
Cool. I was either gonna offer that or wait to be asked that. Well, like I said, my first approval was the TIE pilot, the reserve pilot into the full armor. The next costume that I did after that, I built the Jawa. Still my favorite.
The Bad Jawa.
Yeah, the Bad Jawa. It's my favorite. It's my favorite costume to do at conventions because you can literally walk up to people and take stuff from them, and they just think it's the greatest thing. And it becomes a game of almost like hoarding. Like, how much stuff can I take from this person before they think, okay, you need to give your stuff back?
All right, it's getting uncomfortable.
Yeah, the first year we did Big Lick, Adam walked around without his walkie-talkie all day because I just took it from him. I just walked up, took it, and walk away. And he's like, "Well, I mean, a Jawa took it, so I mean, I can't say anything." So it's like I had his walkie-talkie for the better part of the day.
Yeah.
The Jawa was a lot of fun. I liked building it. It was a real. I budget built that one. I built the whole costume for like $140. You know, the eyes were made out of Dollar Tree LED flashlights. The lenses were you know, the quarter vending machines that have the toy eggs and stuff in them.
Oh yeah.
I found one that was the orangey amber colored eggs and butchered that to make the cover of the lenses. I used a Halloween Jason mask to make the mask, and I mean, use speaker wire to wire the eyes up. I mean, it was super low budget. Loved making it. It was a lot of fun. It was my first experience in doing in sewing too, and sewing that cloth was the worst experience of my entire life. After
you worked with leather.
Yeah, and I learned to work with leather because of it. I did the bandolier and everything out of leather. And I learned how to do that, and I love working with leather. I want to do more. I want to go in and start making E11 holsters. That's kind of like my little side business I want to start doing, is doing leather holsters.
Get you like a little shop going.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So after I got those done, I built one for my wife. I built one for my daughter. So we had the Jawa family for a little while, which was a lot of fun. After that, I purchased the robes for Palpatine from Frankie. Did Darth Sidious, and then dropped the god awful amount of money on the movie mask, the latex mask. Or no, it wasn't latex. It was silicone. Excuse me. It was like a silicone mask.
You got the hands too, right?
I didn't do the hands because they everywhere. Every time I've seen the hands, they just don't look right.
They look like hot dogs.
They do. They look like hot dogs mixed with Cheetos. And
I mean, from far away, they look cool and creepy, but
yeah. So, you know, I had a friend teach me how to do the aging makeup on my hands and whatnot. So I did that. It didn't look great. I didn't like it because, you know, the first time she did my hands, she goes, "No, I don't really have to age these that much." And I'm like, "Thanks, I appreciate that."
You got plenty of liver spots.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's like, geez, I'm not that old. Yeah. And then I think, that's the only costumes I've done. Like I said, we're working towards the clone. I built the wife's Stormtrooper a few years ago, and that was fun. I want to build another Stormtrooper. That's another one I'm going to do in a year or two, just because I genuinely believe every 501st member should have a Stormtrooper.
Yes.
You know, because I look at it as, you know, there are times when you're doing an event or you're doing, especially like at a convention or something, where, you know, it comes back to that showstopper event where, you know, imagine we show up to one of our conventions and we've got 10 or 12 Stormtroopers. We all load up, we all form, you know, double line, and we just walk in. Everything stops. You know, the quote from Albin Johnson that was, you know, the only thing better than one Stormtrooper is two Stormtroopers. So I kind of believe that with every member should have one.
Yeah,
Been there, done that.
Believes.
Well, but you should still have one. Like I said, you never know when they're just going to say, "Hey, can we have, you know, a dozen Stormtroopers?"
No, I've been part of the 2x2 line that shut down a convention floor.
Yeah, it does. I mean, everything stops when a dozen Stormtroopers walk in.
Yeah,
so.
At Celebration 5 in 2010, after we did the big Legion photo, so it was like, you know, there's 500 Legion members all in the atrium getting their photo taken. Then they took all the Stormtroopers, which was like 100, and they said, "Oh, we're going to take our Stormtrooper photo on the other side." So all of us in two lines marched across the convention and shut the whole place down for like 20 minutes as we didn't care if you wanted to cross. We were walking first.
I love that. I mean, like I said,
there's a video of it somewhere. I'll have to see if I can find it.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
we'll share it.
it just comes back to, like I said, everyone should have a stormtrooper.
Yeah, I started working on a stormtrooper helmet. Hold on, let me see what I got here.
Ooh.
Good to see John Snake in the background, just chilling.
Is he out? Oh, he is. Yeah, he's. I'm a little irritated with him. He's got
moving around. I noticed it.
I'm a little irritated with him. He's got a rat in there he's supposed to eat that he's turned his nose up to. So that's a later problem.
Maybe it's the rat that I'm seeing. But this is 3D printed, so it's still got the supports and even the raft. Back when I was printing rafts, these will help you, Paul. I'm starting out.
Right now, it looks like a bad digital picture.
Yep. Like it's dragging. Yeah, definitely.
Please leave those two in front.
Just
So you can walk up to people and say, I'm going to need to see your identification.
They're not buck teeth, man.
Oh,
Leave them and do the vampire trooper.
But yeah, this is a Rogue One.
That's another costume that I would like to do one day, is do one of the zombie troopers or dead troopers. I think that would be fun for an event.
Oh yeah.
Just get someone's beat up old FX kit and then just cut pieces out of it.
That's what I've wanted to do, is somebody that's upgrading and just getting rid of it and say, oh, I don't want this anymore. It's broken and busted. Like, can I have it? I'll give you, some type of value for it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think that's about all the time we have for this evening, guys.
yeah.
John, is there anything you wanted to add, or anything you want to plug, or anything you want to that you've been watching, or anything that you want to share with us? Anything cool?
Watching. Well, I spent all of Saturday, the wife and I binged all 7 episodes of Queen's Gambit. Loved it. It was like, finally got to that. Like, everybody's been I'm watching Money Heist on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, it's a 4-season show about a group of people that are robbing a Spanish mint. It's
I've heard about it. I've heard it's good.
It's good. The first 2 seasons is dubbed because it was originally filmed in Spain and it was for a Spanish release. So it's dubbed with English, so that's fun if you like dub stuff. And then
that's fun.
And then I've learned too that when I have a house full of kids, like, we always have subtitles on in the house, and like anything we watch always has subtitles. And it's one of the shows where the subtitles and the dubbing doesn't match. So both of them are basically saying the same thing, but they don't match, and it's been fun. But it's a good show if you're into like really intense, like high drama, heist movies, and it's actually really good. So other than that, no, I ain't got nothing to plug anymore. I haven't done any podcasting in a while, so I'm kind of dormant. It's been nice to join you guys for like an hour and do a video podcast. It's been really pleasant. I really appreciate you guys inviting me and let me be a part of it. So
yeah, man,
Isn't it nice to come on and talk and just be like, okay, I'm done. You go have fun editing and posting it.
Oh man, it's the best part, And when we were doing Pigs Pod, it was we were podcasting on a budget, before when podcasting was like ridiculously stupid to do over the internet, because the best you had was Skype, and recording 2 sides of Skype was an absolute nightmare. So now, like, recording through Discord or recording through Zoom, like when I sat down here and I was like, you got pictures of everybody on here and you're flipping between screens with clicks of a button, and I'm just sitting here in awe, like, God bless, this is 5, 6, 7 years ago. This would
come a long way.
Yeah, it's mind blowing. So, but yeah, thank you guys for inviting me on and let me be a part of it. It's always really, really fun to do these. So
we might drag you on here or put you up to something again. So
yeah, it's with my schedule, it's kind of hard because where I've got the little one, that's been what's been keeping me from joining you guys, because Wednesdays is usually my game night.
Mm-hmm.
So we've shuffled around mine and Isabel's game night to different nights. So my Wednesdays are going to free up. So
Nice. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, we're Wednesday's like one of the few nights that kind of works out for us. So, but thanks again, John, for coming on. It was really cool to
thank
have
you.
you on and learn a little bit more about you and your experience with the 501st. And I'm sure everybody else on here is glad to see you and hear from you too. So,
Yep.
all right. Well, let's start that outro. I had been recommending that people check out the 501stlegion.com. Do not do that. That is not a real website. It's the 501st.
I didn't want to say anything because you just kept going with it. I was like, it's just 501st.com.
Yeah, it was Eric who corrected me, and I feel very, very smart about it. But yeah, check out the 501st.com. Right? That's it.
No, just 501st.com.
Killing it, man. You heard it from Paul. Check that out. And then also, on Instagram, we've got the Garrison Tyrannus and Serenno. I think is it Garrison Tyrannus for this?
Yeah, Garrison Tyrannus is the Garrison, and then there's, what is it?
Yep, Garrison
If you
Tyrannus
just type in
is for the
Serenno
approval
Squad, it'll come
pictures
up.
on the Instagram. And, you can listen to the Squadcast on Spotify. You've got Apple Podcast, and of course, you can watch the video portion of it on YouTube. So thank you all for listening, and until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.